everyone. I'm here in the garden at the Peabody Elementary School. My name is Allie and I'm the City Sprouts garden educator for Peabody. You can call me Gardener Allie. I'm really excited to get to be here in the garden on this beautiful day. I know many of you and I'm excited to get to meet any of you that I don't already know. I take care of the garden at the Peabody and I get to work with students in the garden and also in the classroom. So I know that some of you have spent a lot of time in the garden before. You've done all kinds of things here. You've done drawings, you've planted seeds, you've watered plants. And for some of you, the garden will be a new place, which is great. Today, we're gonna get an introduction to the garden and see what's growing here right now. So I hope you'll come along with me and let's see what we can find. Here's a view of the whole garden. It's a beautiful sunny day out here. And we see our big cherry tree right in the middle. Something we'll talk about a lot in kindergarten is the question, what is a scientist? And what do scientists do? You may already have some ideas about this, and you may have talked about it with your class. One thing scientists do is they use their senses to find out about the world around them. So they use their sense of sight, and smell and taste, and they also use their sense of hearing and their sense of touch. Today we're going to start by using our sense of sight, by using our eyes to learn about the garden around us, okay? And we're going to learn about what's growing in the garden, what's alive in the garden. And we're going to be looking for two things. We're going to be looking at what are some different colors we see in the garden, and what different sizes do we see in the garden. Okay, so colors and size. Let's go see what we can find. There are a lot of flowers in the garden right now, and there's particularly a lot of these ones, which stand out a lot because the flower is really bright. What color do you see here? If you said white, you're right. Yeah, there are a lot of these white flowers growing in the garden and blowing in the wind. Here's the next color I found in the garden. Yeah, what color do you see there? I see pink and I see yellow. Here's another flower that really stood out to me in the garden because the colors are really bright. What colors do you notice there? I see yellow and I also see black. The petals on the outside are yellow and then the middle is black. You might also be saying, Gardener Allie, there's a lot of green, and you are right. Green is definitely the color that shows up most in the garden. We have all different shades of green, dark green and light green. And here you can also see some more white and some more yellow. Here's a look at our three different flowers next to each other. First we have our white flowers. Then we have the pink and yellow flower, and then we have the yellow and black flower. Now that we've looked at some colors in the garden, let's think a little bit about size, okay? So I wonder if we can find some things that are really big and some things that are really small. How about we look at leaves? Do you think we could find some really little leaves and some really big leaves? Let's go look. Here I found some pretty small leaves. You can see the size next to my hand, okay? So they're just about the size of my fingernail. These are from new plants that just started growing. Let's see if we can find some leaves that are bigger. Here are some leaves that are a little bit bigger. Let's measure it against my hand, okay? So it's almost the size of my palm, right? So it's a lot bigger than my fingernail. When I put my nail under it, it covers the whole thing. Do you think we can find a leaf that's even bigger? Let's go look. Here are some leaves that look even bigger, and they're blowing in the wind. Whoa! Let's see how they look compared to my hand. So it almost covers my entire hand. So these leaves are definitely bigger. It's hard to measure with the wind. Okay, I think these are the biggest leaves in the garden. Let's look at it next to my hand. Wow, it covers my entire hand when I put my hand underneath it. So remember, we saw leaves that were the size of my fingernail, and then my palm, and then one that covered most of my hand, and now my whole hand. Now here's a look at all our leaves, from smallest here to biggest. We can also look at color when we look at these leaves because we can see the different shades of green of some of the leaves in the garden. Thanks for coming along with me on this introduction to the garden. We got to look at some different colors in the garden and some different sizes of leaves in the garden. There's a lot to see. I wanted to show you a sneak peek of something we'll look at next time, which is right behind me. This apple tree. Have you seen apples growing on a tree before? Maybe you've even picked some. These apples are kind of a greenish, brownish color, and they're about the size of the palm of my hand. So the size of some of the middle leaves that we looked at, not the biggest or the smallest. We'll get to look more at the apples next time. So thanks for joining me in the garden, and I'll see you all soon. Bye!